This is Chad's little boy, Payton. He's actually found some sheds himself, and he just barely got out of the tub, but we definitely want to get him on the camera, and we want to show off some of his killer finds as well. So, go for it.
I found this one hiding in the bush. It was like this. We almost walked past it.
Yeah.
Just
like,
brownie,
Dad,
huh?
I'm going to look right here. And then he's like, let's go up. And then I looked over. It was like this.
And there it was, huh?
In the bush.
That's so awesome.
Was that your first or your second shed you found?
My second shed. It's still my biggest.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
awesome, dude. Was that this year?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was last year.
I mean,
Last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just brownie, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty color.
Which one was your first shed?
There you go. That's what started the passion,
That's
huh?
what started it, huh?
I found this one. We stopped at a little rock. My dad, I can't believe he didn't see it. Like, he went and sat on the rock. He was eating peanut butter and jelly. I'm like, I'm going to go look in that little part. And it was like that.
Just sitting tines up just like that, huh?
You screamed my name and we're like, Dad!
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome.
All right, which one did you find this year?
I think it was this one was, I kept on looking in bushes and I kept on going.
Peeking into all the bushes, yeah?
5 minutes into the hike, this one was laying in the bush. My dad's like 5 yards or so away from me. And I go, Dad, I found a shed.
That's awesome.
And that's the one we just found last week. Oh, tell them about that one.
This one was my little 2-point. It was a big, big, big blizzard.
Yeah, it was snowing on us, huh?
I probably walked past it, and my dad walked past it 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go take a rest like this, and I looked down, and it's like...
Just right in front of you, huh? That's so cool.
Cool.
And then I'm like, Dad, look. And then he came over, I'm like, ooh.
Alright, what about this one?
This one, I didn't think we were going to find any on the hike.
Mm-hmm.
We were just following a ball.
What were you doing when we found it?
I was on his shoulders, so I'm like, hey, what's that white thing? And I'm like, it's just like a rock or something or a branch. Me and my dad, I was on his shoulders. He walked over to it. He smelled up it. And then I looked down, then...
We almost stepped on it, huh?
That's so cool.
Pretty cool. You like shed hunting now, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's way
What's
fun.
your favorite part about shed hunting?
About finding them.
Just finding them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty cool little pile for only being 7 years old, huh?
Heck yeah, dude.
I didn't find my first shed until I was 12. And that's when I didn't even care about shed hunting.
I still have one more. But it's at my mom's house.
Oh, yeah, you still have one more at your mom's house. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
Well, thank you, bud.
Say heck yeah, thank
This
you.
is Payton. You have an awesome little collection started. Just keep going and keep working at it. And once you get older, you can just pass up your dad.
Cool, thanks,
But
buddy.
hey, thank you.
Now to my pride and joys. These things I've become obsessed with over the past couple years. For where I go hunt my deer at, as soon as I put out more trail cameras to try to figure it out, all these moose just started showing up on my trail cameras all the time. 2 years ago, I was like, oh, you know what? That'd be cool to go pick up their shed. So maybe I'll just go see if I can find them. Freaking snowshoeing in way steep snow, freaking hours to try to move 100 yards up the mountain in the snow. And I got lucky one day for sure and stumbled across a couple, and then I got a sickness and just kept going and going and going.
That's awesome.
And I found 3 sets and 2 singles last year, and then 1 big set this year from a bull that I watched every single day again. So I'll start with these 2. This small little brownie, but he was cool. He was up in the pine trees on freaking a slope like this. It was stupid that he was even up there and why I was walking up there to look for it. I have no idea. But I actually spotted this one first. This was an old little chewed up one that was tines up. And when I walked over to it, this one was laying tines down, probably like 20 feet away.
So cool.
So this was actually on Easter last year. So these are my Easter sheds from last year.
Nothing like a little Easter hunt, right?
Yeah, Easter hunt, dude. That's what I always say. It's like a big Easter egg hunt looking for all these sheds. And people are like, why do you like to go do that? It's like, dude, didn't you like to Easter egg hunt when you were a kid? I'm still a kid. I like to go out there and find this stuff. It's awesome. But this one was a bull that I actually didn't have any trail cam pictures of, but he wintered with the other bulls that I have. And this set was laying probably, I don't know, 50 yards apart from each other. I got this one on my Instagram too, and it's just buried in snow. This side was laying tines down and the snow was covered so you could barely see it. But the cool part about this one was buried completely, and all I could see out of the snow was that.
Lucky.
Yeah, so I was following their tracks down in my snowshoes, and I got very, very lucky. But
such a cool bull.
So on that day, I found that set, and then one side and one of the other ones, but I'll get to that one in just a second. This one, I'm sure a few of you know. This one was the one that was on my trail cameras the most, and the one that got me addicted to wanting to find his sheds, just because I thought he was super cool. I don't think he's a very old bull at all, but he's got tons of potential.
Oh yeah.
And this is 2 years ago, and he put on some inches and put on some mass, and a couple more times this year. And that's what we got to go find that guy this year. But he was super cool. He was these ones probably 50 yards apart. This side was out in the sun, you know, getting its color changed, and this one was tines down in the trees. So they could look like 2 different years, but they're the same.
So awesome.
Yeah, moose. I never really cared for moose too much until just a couple years ago, but now I can't stop thinking about them. So.
Obsession, huh?
Yeah, big time.
And seeing, I think that's so cool that you have so much history with some of these bulls.
Yeah.
And that just, it makes it that much more meaningful, you know?
And it's cool because that bull I just showed you, and then this next bull I'm going to show you, spent summers together, spent the whole winter together. So I got hundreds and hundreds of pictures of them together. I got a couple of pictures of them fighting each other on my trail cams.
So cool.
So yeah, it was awesome to find their sheds too. But so this next one's kind of bittersweet for me for sure, because it's the biggest set that I've picked up.
How'd that feel?
That didn't feel very good at all. Stub my toe. But this is the biggest set that I was able to pick up. This bull hung out with that previous one I just showed you, and this bull actually got killed last year on is it alpha male? Sorry, I don't remember.
I don't know, to be honest.
I met him at the hunting expo. Really good guy. Saw this moose mounted he had, and I showed him all the pictures and stuff from him before. So it was bittersweet to hear that he got shot, but I'm glad that I got to have the previous year's moose sets that I'll have forever. He's cool. He's got a pretty decent front right there. This one's kind of more palmated out. But I don't know if you can see right there.
That was blood.
That was a whole bunch of blood that was on the paddle right there. I have other pictures of it on my Instagram too, you can check out. But he was freaking sweet. I found this side was tucked up under a pine tree the same day that I found the first set. And then we didn't find this side until a couple months later. And he was actually pretty far apart. He was probably 1,000 yards away from this side. Yeah,
it's crazy just how heavy they are, and then how far they can pack them.
Yeah, so he had to have lost this side, and then a couple days later had to have lost this side for how far away it was. But when I saw him without his antlers on, man, he was hurting. He was just laying in his bed with his ears all droopy for like a day or two. So I think it takes a lot out of them sometimes when they definitely shed like that, and they can bleed a lot. So
they're definitely in a vulnerable state for sure.
All right, now to this one that I actually saw last year, that I tried to pick up his sheds last year, but I can never find him. I have no idea where he went. But this year I located him again, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this bull up there too, but he's just kind of a freak with big old long tines, huge bases.
Yeah, check out these bases.
Just insane.
I mean, there's my hand. It's huge.
It's crazy. And I watched this bull every morning until I went up there one day and I was like, oh, is that a cow? No, it's not a cow. It's freaking him. He's got giant holes in his head. I called my brother up, and hey man, that bull shed his horns, let's go pick him up. Walked up there, about 45 minutes later, found this side laying in his bed. And this one was probably about 100 yards away, somewhat buried in the snow, because he lost this side first and lost this one, I think, maybe a day later. But he's freaking sweet. I got tons of pictures of this guy,
He's
too.
so cool. A lot of character.
Yeah, just I've never seen any kind of moose shed like this, where not much of a palm, but the tines are just crazy long.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So sweet, dude.
He was cool. Just the reward it is to watch him for so long and to put in so much time and effort, and then to actually have it reward you when you find it is just, I'm hooked to it big time. Deer, elk, moose.
What's the most advice you could give somebody to find moose sheds?
They will hang out in crazy places you never would think that they would be. But if you can locate where they winter, they like to stay in a certain area for a couple days, and they'll move around in circles, and then once they either eat up all the vegetation there is for them to eat, or the weather gets too bad, they'll move to a different spot and then stay there for a couple more days. So if you go up there and you start seeing moose sign, I would check that area, comb it, and then try to move away and find another spot, because they don't really tend to wander back and forth too much. They'll stay in little areas and then move along. But there's some rugged terrain that they live in, so you just gotta try to stay positive, keep your head down, and if you can, try to watch them, because that's, I would never have found that bull, or honestly probably any of these, unless I went up there and was putting in the time and the effort to watch where they were spending their time at. So
gotcha. Well, heck yeah, dude. You have some awesome stuff, some cool stories, great trophies. Just thank you for letting me come over.
Thank you very much.
Let me just drool over some sheds.
We'll be adding to it too, for sure. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, go ahead and what's your Instagram?
Chops833.
There you go. Check that out. I'll post it somewhere on the video as well. And give old Chad Chops Snake follow. But,
all right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Put in the work.